What up, Pink ladies, T-birds, just happen to be watchers of my shit. My name is JImmiPynk, and as I prepare for Gen Con, I'm going through every episode of this shit. So, for those of you that aren't aware, I am a huge JEM and the Holograms fan. JEM is my name. It's not a coincidence. Here's the thing. I am, for the first time, finally going to Gen Con in August. Now, I've been watching some of the cosplay contests, which you guys know I do cosplay, and I've been watching some of the panels. These people know they shit. You will not come into my house, which is Northeast Ohio, and I'm not going to come out there motherfucking prepared. So, even though I've already watched the whole season of JEM and the Holograms several times, I am going back to rewatch it on Netflix yet again. So if you want to follow along with these reviews, it is available on Netflix right now, all 3 seasons. So, I'm going from season 1, episode 1 to episode 4. And it's going to kind of be a little bit of a sarcastic look at it because this came out in 1985 when I was 7 years old. I'm now 40. So there are just things that I noticed that I'm just like, what? Also, we're going to combine this with another series that I was going to do, which was kind of copying off of Zach Morris's Trash, except for it was going to be about JEM, Jerrica Benton, who is the same character. Spoiler alert. Oops. So we start at the very, very beginning. We find out, we meet Jerrica Benton. She has a sister named Kimber. She has 2 foster sisters named Shayna and Aja. One thing I have to say right away, even as a young girl that I loved about the series, in 1985, there wasn't no whole lot of multicultural cast. If you had one person on the show that wasn't white, whether they be black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, non-white, you had one. And they were a sidekick. They weren't really a character. They were just there. Think Franklin, Charlie Brown's. Okay. So, for those of y'all didn't know, Franklin's the black kid. And Charlie Brown. It's also South Park makes fun of that. With their character Token Black. And that's his actual name. They kind of make fun of the fact that he's kind of like the Franklin. So that was very important, as well as all female cast. Now, from the beginning, we meet Jerrica Benton. Her father has passed away. She gets left half of his record company and a foster home that he has for girls. Right away, as an adult, I'm looking at this and I'm like, why is the foster home falling apart if your father owned half of a record label? And you know when you have foster kids, you get money for each foster kid you get. This shit shouldn't be this much of a fucking mess. I understand. It's plot. It's for kids. I get it. These are just things that stick out to me now as an adult. So, of course, the den mother or the cook or whoever works for Starlight House says, well, your father always got money from Starlight House to help with the expenses. Fucking duh. So, she goes right up to, and another problem I have as an adult with episode 1. Your father created, we meet Synergy. We meet the supercomputer that is Synergy. I'm sorry, I'm going to talk to y'all like y'all know the show. We're not doing spoiler alerts. It came out in 1985. It's 2018. Catch up. The supercomputer Synergy that is able to create these elaborate holograms. He also leaves her all these clothes, all these dope-ass musical instruments, pimped out purple and lime green Rolls Royce. Because that's what the Rockin' Roadster is, if y'all didn't know, it's a Rolls Royce. So you had all the money to set this up and all of that, but you didn't have the lawyer draw up papers that there would be no funding problems with the foster home, and you didn't have anything drawn up for your daughter to get half the company that says she has this much, or she's on the board, or she can make any decisions that your partner Eric Raymond just said, oh, he dead. I own half the company, not 51%. I own half. How much do he own? He just running shit. Just that doesn't work in the real world. Again, the show was for kids. You can't get into it, but I can't help looking into it that way. And that's part of the fun we're going to have is just looking at the shit as an adult going back like, what? Okay, so moving on, we also meet the Misfits. I gotta tell y'all, from Jump Street, from the moment that opening music came on, but we're the Misfits, our songs are better, we are the Misfits, and we're gonna get her. I was hooked. I was a Misfit fan. The house down boots. I'm ready. So they come in, and we get our first song we ever hear outside of the theme song is by the Misfits too. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm also that person that always kind of likes the bad guy. Like, if any of y'all are familiar with, like, Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, like, Sheila was my bitch. Like, even in episode 1 of season 1 of Riverdale, Cheryl Blossom was kind of supposed to be like the villain. That was my bitch. Like, I like the bad guys, but I like the bad guys with heart. We'll get to that in a moment, because when we get to episode 4 is the time that I discovered who my favorite character was, and it was Stormer. Okay? But anyway, so we meet the Misfits, and there's a battle of the bands that they just feel comfortable just telling Jerica, but it's fixed. This was a big theme in the 80s, too. You ever heard a movie like Fast Forward? Or is it called Fast Forward or Flash Forward? Flash Forward. Fast Forward. It was a very 80s movie about these kids that were in dance school trying to make it in New York. So this was a very 80s thing about rigged battle of the bands and contests. And it's still a thing. Come all the way up to Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It's still a thing. Rigged battle of the bands is a big thing, but it really started in the 80s. And I have an idea. We have all these sweet clothes and sweet car and these holograms. We're going to create a band, and I'm going to be the lead singer, but holographically change my look. Jim and the Holograms are born. Not much of a backstory, but hey, it's an 80s kids cartoon, and it was a cartoon that was basically made just to sell us the damn toys. It worked big time. In episode 2, Eric Raymond decides to hire Zipper. It's the first time we see Zipper, who goes and does dirt with his name on the back of his jacket. Like, well, his jacket says Zipper on the back. Boom, you're arrested. Speaking of the Misfits, how did the Misfits never get in jail? We find out later on, and I'm sorry, but again, I'm not talking about no spoiler alert. This is 23 years old. I mean, this is more than 23 years old. This is made in 1985. Catch up. How is the Misfits never in jail? We do end up finding out that Pizzazz's father is richer than what apparently Jerica's father was, even though they struggle for money all the time. Anywho, they send Zipper in to scare the girls. The girls don't have electricity because, again, the house is fucked up. He scares them. He's supposed to just go in there and scare them, but they got lanterns because the electricity ain't working. The house is on fire. Now let me break down where we at in season 2. Well, I'm sorry, this is part of episode 1. It's all running together. That's why I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4 together. When the Battle of the Bands and Jim and the Holograms come and crashes the Battle of the Bands, Jerica and Eric make a deal that whoever wins this Battle of the Bands, I should have watched the 5th episode because this would have wrapped up nicely because that's when the Battle of the Bands is. Sorry about it. I was trying to do it by arcs too. Anyway, whoever wins the Battle of the Bands gets Starlight Music. That's who wins Starlight Music. So they're on this mad dash to get buzz about both of their names. Eric, who has control of the company right now, and Jerica, who is having financial problems even though she shouldn't because your dad just left you all this shit but he ain't leave y'all no money. And by the way, fuck Kimber. He had another daughter. He had a younger daughter. Just leave everything to Jim. Give everything to Jerica. Kimber don't get shit. which is another thing I'm going to bring up. We're going to get to Jim Jerica as trash towards the end. Now I'm going to go through all the stuff that's fucked up. Then this guy comes up, producer. I'm a movie producer. I'm going to sweeten the deal. Whoever wins, I'll give him a movie contract and I'll give him this mansion. Again, at this point in time, we don't know this. Pizzazz, your father is rich and gives you everything you want. You could have just bought a mansion. Jim and Jerica, or Jim and the Holograms, they was living in this foster community with these girls and stuff. So they need someplace to stay. So they decide to go to the guy in the contest and say, hey, we still want to be in the contest. We want it fair and square. But we got all these kids and shit. We ain't got nowhere for them to go. Obviously, you got this empty house. Well, of course, the Misfits come. They not having no parts of that. That's not fair. You know what? I'm going to get back to that because that's going to be part of the Jim Jerica is trash segment. Anyway, we end up going to, there's a show in Vegas. There's a show in Vegas. There's a show on a yacht. There's all kind of stuff. Yada, yada, yada. The show's about music. The Misfits come and fuck everything up. Every episode, every time. They have a foster kid that just got there named Ashley. She feels like an outcast. They have a jar of money. They're trying to buy a new refrigerator again. Your dad just left you all this shit. You can't just go buy a new refrigerator. But they all save up to get this money to buy a new refrigerator. Ashley, like, I'm about to get some. She gets caught. The girls are like, we only need $30 more left. It's your job to get $30 more. In more realistic news of how foster kids be. Street smart. Oh, you trying to get in here? Well, I need $30, so let's make a deal. In the meantime, she ends up kind of being like the Misfits puppet, but she feels like because she's a kid, she's a foster kid. These are my friends. It's these rock stars, and they're cool. And these ones over here where I live at, they don't got no time for me because nobody is like really breaking it down for her just yet. Some kind of way, I'm going to get to that. Ashley is in Vegas. Zipper is planting a bomb under Eric Raymond's, or not planting Bond, making it seem like Jim stole the concert money and frames her. But Stormer, and this is episode 4 when Stormer became my favorite character, because she was a misfit, but she wasn't like the Misfits. Like, she had some heart. So, and she was getting bullied a little bit. So, obviously, Ashley is getting bullied as a kid, and she's hiding, and she overheard the whole plan and everything. Stormer comes. They find out what Zipper is going to do. What are we going to do? They decide to do the right thing. Ashley finally comes out and says, no, I overheard all of it, blah, 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 etc. Stormer come out all wrapped up, like, I seen it too. But I need to talk to the detective in private, and then she reveals that she's Stormer, so she obviously knows the plan because she's part of the band. Bada boom, bada bang, here we are. Let's get into Jim Jerica. Jim is trash. I have to think of some kind of cue for that. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But anyway, episodes 1 through 4. Reasons why Jim / Jerica is trash. Now we can get into some plot points I can't talk to. You have a new foster child that because you're now in a rock band, you have no time for. So people are telling you she trouble. She be gone all day. She don't tell anybody where she's at. You blow her off because you got to meet with a movie producer or whoever you have to meet with at that time. Trash. You have a boyfriend, Rio. I left Rio out with his overprotective, sucker for love, tender dick ass nigga. Rio is tender dick. I can't. I'm sorry. That's the adult in me watching it. Just jealous, awesome. Because at the very beginning, they let us know Eric Raymond is the bad guy through Rio. Because he comes to his partner's daughter and said, I'm very sorry for your loss. If you need to talk, come by the office anytime. And Rio just comes and snatches her up. She has all the things she needs. Thank you. Well, damn. The girl's father did just die. That was kind of what the man was supposed to say. Whether it was ulterior motives or not, we didn't see it at that time. But anyway, tender dick ass Rio. Sorry. Not part of the junk. Well, yes, he is. Because you have Rio. Rio is ride or die for Jerica. He loves some Jerica. But now all of a sudden this JIM character comes along. And he looking like, she over here looking like a snack, like a good old strawberry Debbie cake, all that pink, I'm into it. But he doesn't act on it because he has Jerica. He's like, okay, this is this new girl we don't know. I know all the other girls. She's pretty. I'm getting to know her. I am y'all road manager. JIM, who is Jerica, as JIM, that her boyfriend does not know that she is the same person, says, well, Rio, don't you like me? You're coming on to your boyfriend as another girl to do what? To test his loyalty? Okay, fine. Maybe you do want to play around with that a little bit. However, then you get on stage and sing a song. I got my eye on you. I want you. Whoa! That is causing a hell of a conflict, not to mention the fact that you're trying to sign to the record label that his girlfriend owns and he's the road manager of the band. You causing all kind of drama that ain't no drama because you're the same person, and then get to decide after you do all of this. I feel bad, but if I tell him I'm the same person, he might not be into it. So you just going to keep being two different people. Got his heart split between two different people, because as the series goes on, this progressively gets worse. This is a huge storyline in this trust. Because she doesn't tell him for a while that she is two different people. If at all. I don't remember. We'll get into that when I get later to the thing. Also, Ashley, when they're doing this show and they're supposed to be going to Vegas, the Misfits say, Ashley, do you want to go with us? Oh, yeah. JIM runs the foster home this girl lives in. Not only is she gone all day, all night, come home, don't tell nobody where she at, but she just flew to Vegas. Can we say stranger danger? She just flew to Vegas with some adults. I don't give a hell if they was adults she knew or not. You don't even know. You get to Vegas and say, oh my God, is that Ashley? The contest. And this is why a lot of the times we have this term now, the Mary Sue. JIM is like the biggest Mary Sue that ever Mary Sue. Seriously. Nothing can go wrong. How do you say, okay, we're going to do this contest, battle of the bands, and I get it. You got this house full of foster kids, that's your home, everything is gone, they ain't got nothing, you need somewhere to go. However, how do you go to somebody that's got a prize for a contest and say, well, I'm going to just go play a concert in front of his house, wake him up and then say, hey, we ain't got nowhere for these kids to go. And then the Misfits is like, that's not fair. That's part of the prize. How's she just going to get to live there unless we get to live there too? Valid fucking point. And Jerica is just like, well, when we win it, we'll stay here, but we really just need some else to say. You own half of a record company. And guess what? Them foster care people is coming to find out where the hell this fire, how this fire even started. Then they gonna find out you ain't got no electricity. Then you don't have them foster kids. You're fucked up. JIM/Jerica is trash. So we're going to go ahead and end this wrap up. Again, I kind of fucked up because this was a 5-episode arc and I should have did 1 through 5. I'm just realizing that now. I have to get more familiar with the episodes. And this is something I literally just up and decided. I was going to rewatch them anyway, but I decided to go ahead and do the review on them as well. So you guys let me know if this is something you're interested in, if you like it, if you don't like it, what you want to do. Also, I also wanted to have some content so that when I go to JimCon and tell people that I'm a YouTuber, they can see my love of Jim and the Holograms, because it needs to be expressed. Y'all do not understand how I was obsessed with this cartoon as a kid and still am, to the point where I have comic books. I still have the cassette tapes. I don't have the dolls and stuff. I have Jim and the Hologram sleeping bag that I outgrew and just unzipped it all the way around and used it as a blanket. And let me tell you something, for anybody that's ever done that, them zippers is hard. So if it ain't zipped up in a bag, that shit is scraping against your face at night, scratching your leg at night. I didn't care. I needed my gym blanket. Period. So I say that to say this. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate y'all so very much. Y'all have no idea. I'm not going to get personal. You guys are really helping me out right now. That same thing for people who are donating to my PayPal. I appreciate you guys and thank you as well. I also thank my Pynk ladies and my T-Birds because there's no channel without you. Again, the next goal is 5,000. I'm at 3,018. So please like, share, tell your friends, retweet, do what you gotta do. Get the word out about the House of Grease. If you're not a member of the House of Grease, you can just rectify that right now by waiting to click Sailor Jimmy at the end of this video or click down below. And you can also click the notification bell so that you know when the rest of these JIM and the Hologram reviews, as well as other shows that I review, are coming up. Also, if you are watching this because I'm going to mention Cosplay or something like that, Youngstown Comic Con is coming up. I will be doing some coverage of that. So we got some shit to talk about on this channel. Come on down. Join us. I thank you all so much for watching. Keep it greasy. Deuces.
Kamehameha attackers blazing, I'm so amazing. Japanimation, the anime on your cartoon station. So fulfilling, no adults swimming for about an hour. Revealing power, unorthodox amongst these cowards. Full transformation for Optimus Prime transformation. A good vibration from